This podcast is brought to you by People's Food Co-op, a community-owned grocery store in downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin and Rochester, Minnesota, that promotes local farmers and producers through an emphasis on fresh, healthy, sustainable food. Anyone can shop. Everyone is welcome. For more information, visit them online at pfc.coop. This podcast is also brought to you by Trempealeau County Tourism. Whether your idea of fun is bicycling, hiking, or canoeing, afterwards head into the heart of one of their welcoming communities to experience historic architecture, independent shops, and locally owned dining establishments. Visit Trempealeau County Tourism online. Artspire is back with a full weekend of art at the Pump House Regional Art Center. Enjoy live music from Cloud Cult, Bill Miller, and B2 Winds, plus a fine art fair, interactive art projects, and visual and performing arts. June 10th through 11th. Learn more at artspire.thepumphouse.org. We connect with Des Art Designs. This artist pulls from retro 80s and 90s pop art, along with dabbling in a variety of other design creations. We talk working big, inspirations, influences, process for creation, and what is next. Check out her artwork at Artspire's Art Fair and Sale on Saturday, June 11th. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
So my name is Desiree Edge. I go by Des. I was born in Fenimore, Wisconsin. I've been doing art pretty much my whole life, ever since I was little, painting colors, yeah.
Just out of nowhere, did someone ever just throw you into it, or was it just always readily available around your house?
Always readily available. So I'm the youngest of three. So my mom was just kind of here's crayons, colors, and kind of like with any parent, but it really stuck with me. I remember being in kindergarten, being so proud of my, being able to color and stay in the lines and stuff. And ever since, it's just stuck.
So it's kind of like a necessity. I know I have the small children, and it's just great to just throw some paint or some, like you say, crayons, and it just entertains them for a while, but it really stuck with you. So through that process, in terms of influences, looking at your work just recently, is there music, art, or otherwise that kind of have influenced you as you grew up?
Well, since I live in Fenimore, it's a pretty small town, so there wasn't really much out there. But I remember when I went to University of Wisconsin-Whitewater for graphic design. And that's when I really opened up and saw more things and stuff, because, their art program, there was a lot more out there. And given Whitewater's not a huge school, but it was still bigger than Fenimore, because Fenimore's got 2,000 people.
So for someone who hasn't seen your work, what would you describe it as?
Well, I consider it retro pop art, and I'm an 80s baby. I like the retro telephones and the bright colors that pop and stuff. And then I just branch from there. I also like cartoon women and stuff like that.
It looks like you work big as well. So
Yes.
It looks like you have some big canvases. Is your process fast when coming up with ideas, or is it something that takes a while?
Kind of takes a while. I did a giant guitar. That one I just sent through the mail the other day. And the customer ended up being one of my friends that lives in Texas. And he was the one that he bought 2 other paintings from me. So then I was talking to him and he goes, well, what about a guitar? So then I started coming up with stuff and ideas. And then I started on my computer with my graphics and Illustrator. And then I'll print it off and I'll draw it on a giant wood board. And then I'll paint it.
Oh, so it's something that you also do some custom work sometimes, then it sounds like.
Yep.
So, you'll be at the art fair and sale at Artspire, June 11th in La Crosse. How has been doing markets recently? Is it something that people, really dig when they see your work? How does that work for you?
Well, I did one last year. So I'm new with the art fairs and stuff. And I did one last year in Racine, and it turned out really good. I was really excited, now that I work from home. So now that I have more time to do my artwork and stuff, and I'm not running around all over the place, it's really nice. And the one in Racine, it was good. There was a lot of people from Milwaukee and Chicago that came up, and, they really dug my stuff. So I figured I'd try it over here. And that's when I saw La Crosse had one, and I'm like, we'll give it a go.
So what's next for you? Is there anything coming down the road that you're excited for?
I have 3 art fairs this summer. I'm trying to get all of those ready.
So what art fairs are you going to be at?
I got the one in Art Spire Lacrosse, the one in Racine again, and then I applied for the one at Soldiers Grove.
If people want to find out more, what's the best avenue to, either follow along or even pick up some of your work?
Well, I'm on Instagram. It's Does Art Designs on Instagram. Maybe that'd probably be the best way, because then you can just message me on there.
Oh, and it also looks like you have an Etsy shop too. So people can pick up prints of the different works, I would say, for someone who doesn't have this right in front of them, some, Andy Warhol sort of influences.
Yep.
But unique to its own. It looks pretty sweet. Well, I'm excited to see you at Art Spire. I'll definitely stop by and say hi.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.